Now, this is Raymond F. Jones. Who's Raymond F. Jones? This Island Earth, one of the two probably classic Hollywood productions about alien invasions of Earth in the 50s, the other being The Forbidden Planet. Raymond Jones wrote this and 74 other stories. Raymond was a Mormon and an avid imagination, but he also ran in some very interesting circles. And so after he had started and finished this particular book, which became the movie, he wrote a short story called Noise Level for this magazine, 1952. I came across the story in 1977 in this reprint done in England. I'm going to tell you a short précis of this story because it's going to probably answer a number of things for you eventually. In the story that Raymond wrote, Noise Level, there's a meeting called in the Pentagon. The chiefs of staff all come to the meeting, and there's a president's representative there, and there's this big table. In the middle of the table, there's this plastic-wrapped bunch of burned junk. And it was sealed up, airtight, tied off anyway. And the president's aide tells the assembled scientists and professors who've been called in from all the United States and the generals, he said, look, I know you're not going to believe what we're about to tell you, but something extraordinary happened last week, and we need your help to solve the mystery. He said, we have some of it on film. We were testing this young fellow's device. He's kind of a smart aleck, but we were testing it last week with him, and here's the film we took. And so they opened up the curtain, and the film starts. And you see this young, kind of red-haired, freckle-faced scientist-looking smart aleck, really a bright genius type. And he's got this little chest pack and a backpack and a little belt, and he's standing in front of some of the generals there in a football stadium. And he reaches down, he pushes a button, and he lifts up off the deck 2 or 3 feet and just stands there in the air. Nobody says a word in the office there in the Pentagon. They're thinking, wow, okay, so he's been lifted up a bit. Then he pushes another button, and he rotates sideways and lifts up about 40 feet and takes off, flies around the football field and comes back around for a low pass over the generals. Everybody ducks, and there's a puff of smoke. Quick explosion, he nosedives into the deck and dies, a ball of flame. The package on the table holds the remains of the guy's instrument, what's left after the fire melted everything together. They said, gentlemen, he died before he told us how he did it. This guy doesn't work for any government. He's just an individual. He doesn't have any university grants. He's just an individual, and he did this. Now, you've got to figure out how he did it. We've got his apartment. We've got his library. We've got his lab. We've got everything. You go and take his notes apart and figure out how he did this. Wow. Wow. Everybody runs over a big gaggle to this guy's apartment. They look through his library. He's got chemistry here, physics here, philosophy, ancient mysticism, everything. And he's got a lathe room and downstairs in the second floor area here. And then he's got over here, he's got biochemistry and all kinds of stuff. And they said, could one guy have read all of this? And they start looking through some of the volumes, and there's notes, annotations in the margins. Well, where are his other notes? Couldn't find them. Weeks and months passed as they puzzled over how he did it. And groups all over the United States, for like Martin Marietta and some of the other larger corporations, had scientists gathered together trying to figure out how did he do it. One guy was out fishing, one of the scientists, and he's throwing his line into the water. And as it hit, ripples went out, and there was this swirling vortex next to a rock. And he saw how the splashing water moved some twigs that came together, pulled in by the vortex and stuck together. He says, I've got it. I understand gravity now. They went running back, and a month later, they rang the guys at the Pentagon and said, we've done it. It's 30 feet in diameter, and it's about a foot thick, and it weighs 15 tons, and it only moves off the floor an inch, but we've got anti-gravity. Well, the Pentagon said, get your notes, get over here quick. Everybody is reassembled into the Pentagon to the same room. They show the film of the test to all the other guys who weren't there, and they say, wow, fantastic. The guy that called the meeting said, gentlemen, I want you to meet someone very special. Curtain opens, and out comes the red-headed scientist, the dead one. And they said, what is this? They said, well, he's an actor. He never existed as we told it to you. We had to remove the noise level from your mind to say that it is possible to get you to work on it. Now, I tell you this for a reason. 2 streams of events have been following the UFO circumstance, the real alien or fallen one's chain, and the one where the nozzle has been removed in certain scientists' minds to get them to develop this. We have developed anti-gravity. I was recruited way after they got it the first time because I came up with a method of powering a saucer craft using an ionized air plasma, which I'll explain to you later. In that program, under Dr. Teller, I was sent down to Australia. And so I have been privy to things you would never see. You would never, ever see. And I'm going to show you some of those things as best I could recreate them today so that you'll understand that mankind has, on his own accord, done some of this.